Hello, hope you all are doing well. So let's talk a little bit about quoting, paraphrasing, and citing. I'm still working on your preliminary research projects. Several students have said I have questions about citing, but haven't told me what those questions are. So whatever it is that you need help with, I need to know specifically what it is that you need me to go over. In our last video, we looked at how to find the information for a couple of sources to create that MLA works cited entry. Before you can cite in the text, you have to create the works cited entry so that you know what your in-text citation will be. The in-text citation is going to be based on what is first in that citation, usually the author's last name, and if there's no author, it will typically be the title of the article that you're working with. So whatever comes first in the works cited entry is what you'll be using in that in-text citation. So let's take a look at creating a citation, quoting, paraphrasing, that good stuff. Let me share my other screen. All right. Yeah, there we go. Good old blank Word document up there. So I did a quick search on the library's website for peer-reviewed sources for school start times. I'm going to go take a look at this one. So what we're going to do first is create the works cited entry for this source. So we have two authors, Jennifer Hessel and Samuel Norris. We'll invert the first author's name, so it'll be Hessel, Jennifer, and Samuel Norris. Then we will have the title of the article, which is right here, Rise and Shine, the Effective School Start Times on Academic Performance from Childhood Through Puberty. Remember to always use title case in MLA for your titles, even if the journal does not do so. So we have the name of the journal, Journal of Human Resources, Volume 53, Number 4, Fall 2018, and we have the page numbers, yes, 121, nope, that's it, 957, ends on page 957. So I need to figure out what page it starts on. Now, if you have a hard time finding it here, you will want to return to the results page, which will also often give you the full information. So here we still don't have page numbers. This may be a situation where we just don't have page numbers for the article. I also will sometimes go ahead and download the PDF so that I can get a good look at it. Sometimes we can see the page numbers on the PDF when we can't see them here. Some databases will take you straight to the PDF, some will not. All right, here we go. This is taking forever. All right. Journal of Human Resources. Yep, there we go. So it starts on page 957, and then we can scroll to the end and see that it ends on page 992. So bang, there you go. You have your page numbers. Now you have everything you need. All right, so I am going to move this over to my other screen. I'm sorry, that's going to take it away from you for just a moment, but I want to be able to create our citation while I look at that. All right, so we have, just kidding, Hessel, Jennifer, and Samuel Norris. Rise and Shine, the effect of school start times on academic performance from childhood through puberty. All right, so we close that with a period and our quotation marks. Then we're going to italicize the name of the journal. Volume 53, Number 4, Fall 2018. 97 through 992. All right, so then we're going to include the database we got this from, which was Project Muse. And then we will include a stable URL or the DOI. With a stable URL, It's not going to be a search URL, so it's not going to be this huge string with a bunch of stuff up here. Is this a stable URL? Probably. I also like to look for a DOI. I don't see one, so we will go with our URL. And actually, on the PDF, they have a stable URL. Perfect and beautiful. So I'm sleepy. All right, so right here, there you go. That's the URL. Whoops. Perfect. Okay, so we get that in there. Bang. Last thing, when you create your works cited page for your research paper, when you create your annotated bibliography, you're going to need what we call a hanging indent, and you're going to need to alphabetize your sources. Right now, we're only working with one source, so I'm not alphabetizing anything. I'm really lazy. Let me show you how I make my hanging indent. I just turned on view characters. If you just hit tab, it's going to move this whole thing over, and that's not what we want, right? We want to just move the lines after the first line. So what you're going to do is if you hit enter, it'll give you a hard stop and you'll see that you have the little paragraph symbol up here. If you do that, then you can hit the tab key without moving the whole thing. And then I go to the next line, I hit enter again, bang, it'll do it. So then when you go out to do your next one, just come back out to the left margin, okay? All right, so a couple things to keep in mind. We need, when we are going to quote, quoting is using the author's exact words, okay? So keep in mind that when you are quoting, it has to appear exactly as it does in the author's text. You also have to anchor that quote in your sentence. You can't just grab a quote and leave it by itself. You have to somehow introduce it. So let's say that I want to talk about their findings. So right here, let's say that I want to focus on their findings from middle school age children. So I could say that, I don't know why I can't type her name. Hazel and Norris find that with school, let's see, that effects of sunlight and sunlight before school do not affect younger children, but, and then quotation marks. Now, I introduced the authors here, so I don't need to put their names in the in-text citation. What I do need, however, is to give the page number where I got this information, which is going to be 958, okay? Now, I could do this differently. I could also say that some researchers have found that now, in this case, I haven't used the author's names, so I'm going to put them here and provide the in-text citation. You will also notice that my font changed, so I'm going to fix that. I don't like that. All right, so here you have an anchored quote with the authors introduced in the sentence and then the page number. Here, because we did not introduce the authors, we have the authors' names and the page number. Okay, there's no comma, there's no P period, there's none of that stuff. That is it. Okay, so for a basic quote, you can handle it that way. But to do your in-text citation properly, you have to get that works cited entry done first. All right. So let's see. Oh, I also accidentally italicized my URL. What in the world? All right. So a couple more things. If you have more authors, if you have 3 or more authors, you can use et al. So let's imagine that we had 3 authors here. The in-text citation would be Hessel et al. And then you would have the page number. You do use a period with et al. Et al means it's some fancy Latin for and others. All right, so then the next thing, if you are going to paraphrase, that means fully putting the author's words into your own words, putting the author's ideas into your own words, which means you're totally changing the wording and the sentence structure. You still cite. You would not use quotation marks, but you would still cite. So that's a little basic introduction to in-text citations and to quoting. Remember, no quote should float. Your quote should always be anchored in a sentence. You should always give credit to the author, and you should always use quotation marks around directly quoted material. So I will talk to you a little bit more about paraphrasing, a little bit more about some other kind of special case quoting. We can go over that. But for now, hopefully this will help you keep moving forward. Please get in touch if you have questions so that I can help you with them. You all have a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another video this week.